Hi, everybody. Welcome to day two of how to make money with email. So yesterday we talked about how to grow the list. I even saw some people got some homework done. What? We're going to hand out gold stars here today. This is pretty awesome. Um, so let's go through it. How did it go? This is actually open session here today. Open mic a little bit if you want. Um, who uh who got something done? Feel good about it? You can either mention it or put it in the chat. You get it written. How do you feel about it? Process? And is anybody still stuck? Go ahead. Gina's off to a good start. All right. Good. Examples are helpful. All right. Gianji, tell me.
Well, I have constant content, and I am in such a limbo between moving to ConvertiKit, and they changed their price structure, so they went from lower than what I'm paying, or way higher for with the help with the rep than I always had,
Yeah.
and I'm debating if would it be wiser to move to ConvertiKit or to stay with constant content, and between Raptive and all that. So I'm in there. Wanted to, but I'm debating, and I just don't know.
Yeah. It's a tough decision because it implies work along with additional, change in prices probably. Moving is never the fun thing. I'll tell you that much. So
Difficult. Change is difficult.
change is difficult. Yes, and learning a new platform is a little bit of a hassle. I get it. The question that I have for you, and this is mine for everybody, is what you're doing working? If it is, there's no need to change, right? The best platform for you is the one that you can get to work for you. Like if you run into, of course, a wall of, you know what, I don't quite understand how to do it. I want to do what Matt's talking about here, but I don't understand how to do it in Constant Contact. That is probably the impetus in my book, where you're like, man, I want to take advantage of a different set of features. Now, just because it's not obvious, it doesn't mean it's not possible in Constant Contact as well. And that's true for most of your platforms. I will tell you that. There's usually a workaround. There's usually a way to get things done. But sometimes it takes, like with MailChimp. I left MailChimp years ago because I was pulling my hair out trying to do my what I want to do, and I have a special affinity for my hair, so it was a no go. Um, anyway, that probably doesn't help you at all.
Well, the only difference is I've been with Constant Contact for 12 years, and I love them. My opening rate is 40 to 45%, and my click-through rate goes up to 8%. So when it comes to that, we're comparing apples and apples because apparently ConvertKit is quite good. One of them, Constant Content, started business, and so it's more of a business, straight, streamlined,
Right.
boom. ConvertKit, what I've noticed is more open. It's a lot more fluidity in the sense of you have so many more templates to look for.
Right.
So I think it's more like, do I want to go with the choice of templates and deal with the thing, which seems pretty easy from what you were showing yesterday, or do I want to stay with what I know for forever and a day? But
Okay.
also I have another business and another website, and that's, I think, maybe will be the breaker, because I will have emails. I have emails going out there, and they have one price for all. So
Right. Yep. No, that makes perfect sense to me. I wouldn't push you one way or the other. I would really just start. Can I get done what I want to get done? Um, and it's really about functionality at this point. I think Megan, same for you. If you can get it, if you can get it done in MailerLite, in Flowdesk, in Constant Contact, um, look, I know that you've sunk money into it and time, so I get that 100%.
well, thank you.
All right, let's see. Some folks are got off to a start. Is rough draft. Is anybody stuck? Like, honest to goodness, just doesn't know what to do next. You may have an idea, you just haven't done it yet. But if you're genuinely stuck, that's where I want to help. And if you need to, stick around after the call, and I will stay as long as we need to get to help you come up with a plan. I guess the kind of the umph behind that question is, are you growing the way you want to grow? Okay. If you already are, then you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But for the most part, many of us could use a little goose. And so that's what I want to provide, is if you're stuck in any way. Okay. All right, today, let me share my screen. Here's what we're going to go over today. So, I mentioned yesterday where we were going with this. Many of you just, it was, very gracious of you to just suspend all questions for a minute and say, where is Matt taking us here? And I want to share with you where we're going. So we've got people coming into your list through this new quick start guide, bonus content, save this article, save this recipe, Slickstream, whatever it is. Okay. They're coming into the list. What do you send them? This is what I'm going to talk about tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm going to talk about the right types of things, that's not the right word. The types of things I typically send in seasonal broadcasts, because seasonality matters a lot in most of our businesses. And then I'm going to tell you about the Forever series. This is basically a nurture sequence that could go on forever. That's why I call it Forever series. How to set these up. I'm going to give you a bunch of examples. And I think that through some of those examples, you might be inspired to see, oh, okay, I see how that could be helpful. It's kind of like a welcome series that doesn't end, but it's just really thoughtful. And you're considering the journey. We'll talk about RSS, whether that's right for you to use or not. Back in the day when I started doing these courses, it doesn't happen as much anymore, but the default thing everybody was using was RSS was kind of the only thing that they did. They'd take their MailChimp and they drop in their feed and it would generate an email. And that was the only thing that they were doing. Not so much anymore, but there are some cool things you can do with it. And so we'll go through that. Today, let's go over the quick start guides that you have done. For those of you who are bold and brave today, I am feeling particularly gentle. All right. So maybe it's just being under the weather and so I don't have the energy to be as much of a jerk as I normally am. So today, if you share your copy, whatever state it's in, I'm happy to look at it, talk through the pros and cons of what you've done, and give you any ideas that come to my head as we review it. If you've not yet done so, go get it. My course, Email on Autopilot. It's free, which is awesome because it's like I legit had 3 orders this week where people paid me $500. You're getting it for free thanks to our friends at Raptive. So you might as well take advantage of that if you have not yet done so. Okay, that's probably the last time I'm going to mention that, by the way. So do it now. Do it now. Go. All right. Let's see. I have in here, many of you are already on top of it. So I've got Gina, I've got Megan, I've got Alejandra, I've got Lana. All right, I got 4. If you want me to, oh, by the way, I'm going to need edit access on these if you haven't provided it. If you want me to review yours, let me know and I will. Let me hit that. And I'm happy to review your quick start guide today. The more people that share, the better we can all learn. All right, so be brave. I'm going to need, Gina, I'm going to need edit access on this bad boy, if you can provide it. Editor now. Oh, editor, there you are. Lickety split. Catherine, let's see, I got Catherine. And then I've got Lisa. I'm excited about Lisa's. I'm going to get into some yummy stuff there. Looks good. All right, who wants to go first? Should I just go with Lisa because it's right here in front of me? Catherine's nodding vigorously, like anybody but me. Please let it be Lisa. All right, Lisa, are you around? Can you unmute?
I'm right here.
All right, great. How did it go as you were putting this together?
I think after you showed the examples yesterday, I had more of an idea of what I was going for because it was a bit difficult to come up with like lessons, but then the German summer recipes, it came a bit easier because I could structure it a bit differently, like mains and salads, so 1 per day. That felt a little bit easier for me.
Great. Yeah, I'm glad you said that because I often confuse people with that idea of lessons. you don't necessarily have to be teaching anything, especially in food. Sometimes it's just they just want the inspiration, you know, just inspire me with what to make next. And so my lessons are, it's a pretty loose marketing idea there, isn't it? So, or secrets is the same thing, because we're not revealing, I don't know, what happened with aliens in Roswell or something. I mean, it's just these aren't that type of secrets. It's the secret is, guess what? You can make great German food. Woo, that's a secret. Okay, so why did you choose 5 days of German summer recipes?
Because our main traffic drivers or our main posts are all German except for one. So it made sense to go with that cuisine. But then also you said seasonality is important. So I felt like I had enough summer type recipes
Yeah.
to make a whole quick guide on it.
Okay, fantastic. All right, let's dive in. I'm going to switch to suggestion mode. By the way, I can see right now, Lisa, that what you have here is just fine and would work straight out of the gate. Okay. So anything I do from this point forward is me either nitpicking or trying to show certain examples of things or just trying to justify my existence on this call today. So what you have is totally fine. I just want to be upfront here and probably great. Let me dive in with a fresh perspective.
Sounds good.
Hi there. I like to, if you have it, you know, we can address them. Sometimes we don't have it. That's fine. Welcome to day 1 of 5 days of German summer recipes. Now, as you heard me yesterday, I do like giving these things a title. I like giving the series a title, that is. I like people to know where we are in the series. And I think that this is an easy way to do that. I might, you know, bold it to make it feel more proper noun-y kind of thing, but whatever. 5 days of German summer recipes. I've been thinking about this title since I saw it, and wondering if there's a way to jazz it up just a little bit. Authentic German summer recipes, easy summer recipe, I mean, whatever problem is, and maybe that'll pop out to me as we start going through this. The problem that people have, why don't they make more German summer recipes as it is? So that's one of the things I want to kind of explore here. When you think about German recipes, heavy meat dishes like these with lots of prep work come to mind first. They don't really work for summer, at least when it's hot out. Last thing we want to do is spend hours in the kitchen making it. We get it. Okay. Another thing, by the way, I forgot to tell you this. Here's what I'm going to tell you. Not just you, Lisa, everybody. This is, you can see that this slide was created before you were around. So what I'm going to tell everybody is people don't read, they skim. I really ought to have a t-shirt made because I say that so much. People don't read emails, they skim. So let's get to the point. In that spirit, you can trim your word count dramatically if you try. So this is not an exaggeration. I will write my first draft. I will stand up, go for a socially distanced walk in the park or whatever, sit back down, and challenge myself to cut out half the words. You can do it. And even if it's not half the words, if you cut out another 10% of the words, you're still going to have a tighter email, right? So I love subheaders. I love buttons. I may push back on some of you today and ask you, what problem are you really solving? Because if that's not abundantly clear, then we might be missing an opportunity with that email. Finally, we'll talk about subject lines today. My favorite subject line formula, I learned it 20 years ago. I wish I could give credit to the person who taught it to me. I just don't remember. But curiosity plus self-interest. If you want to improve at your subject lines, just put that on a sticky note, put it on your monitor right here for a little while, and apply it to everyone. Curiosity plus self-interest. Example, if I said, pineapple coleslaw recipe, let's say that was my subject line. When was the last time anybody ever wanted pineapple coleslaw? Ever? I'm not even sure I would ever want that. However, if the food expert that I follow says, this is my go-to potluck recipe. And then I open that up and I see pineapple coleslaw, I'm much more inclined to consider it. First of all, I'm more likely to open it. And I'm also more likely to click it because you framed it for me versus me and my personal experience or the conclusions I jumped to around pineapple coleslaw. Okay, so curiosity plus self-interest is the way to go, or at least when you're learning the ins and outs of subject lines. All right, sorry, back to Lisa. The reason I thought of that, Lisa, is because can I say this more quickly? Obviously, this is fine. This is very brief. So now I'm just totally nitpicking. But if you start doing things like this and you ask yourself, what is necessary in here? Luckily, there are so many German recipes. I'm just really nitpicking. There are many German recipes that are great for summer. For the next 5 days, I'll share easy German mains, salads, desserts, and more. Hope you like them. Okay. Is there something special about these recipes? Why did you pick these 5?
I picked them because they're relatively easy to make, quick, but they're still main dishes that are quite filling.
Are they popular?
In Germany, yes. I don't know about if they're popular, that popular with Americans that may have maybe German heritage. So I think when Americans with German heritage think about German food, they know the classic roasts and heavy meat dishes. So the goal is to introduce them to other options that might work better
Okay.
in the summer.
Okay. So I feel like maybe that's a minor point. I mean, not a minor, an important point is that we're missing just this quick, easy, filling, and popular. All right. So what if I did something like this? Okay, now what I'm doing here is I am playing off social proof. Okay. I might even, I'm giving you something to think about. I'm not saying to do this. I might even do this. Okay. Why? Because social proof works amazingly well. When something is the most popular, I have to ask myself, what am I missing out on? I didn't know that that was popular. Look, I've had a good Flammkuchen. I know it's delicious. I've had schnitzel, but I do not know what Schinkelnudeln is. All right, so now I got to know. And if it's popular and everybody knows about me, man, well, that means it's been vetted before me. So
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
So this is where this is what I was going with. As you start thinking about these sub headlines or the name of your guide, or is your if you're going for even the title of the guide or your subject line, like maybe easy is the thing, but even if it's easy as the thing, then I want 30 minutes or less, or for beginners, or foolproof. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Like let's ratchet up that description a little bit more. This is just a muscle that just has to be flexed. That's all. It's just knowing that those are the types of triggers that hit people. All right. So what are people saying? Some of the others, be helpful. as someone with German heritage and want to learn more to have a translation. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. She gave you some free consulting there. She's going to probably send you a bill. That's how Gina is. You know, she's going to invoice you for this,
Yeah,
but it's good.
most of our recipes, they have the German name and then the English name in the title. So when I will put it into MailerLite or ConvertKit, ideally they have a photo and then the full recipe name
Yeah.
and then a button, or I
Okay.
just didn't have time to mock it all up.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
And then, yeah.
Let's look at the subject lines here for a second. Now, a lot of folks have what you have as the subheader will often work great for the subject line. If you are stuck, something like what Lisa has here works just fine. Day one, most popular German mains for summer. This implies that it's day one of this thing that they signed up for. So I like to use that. If you don't want to go that route, then we need to think of other, this is fine, this is what I'm saying. But because this is a copywriting exercise, let's explore some other ways that we could do this subject line. Okay, remember our subject line formula is curiosity plus self-interest. Because Lisa was brave and went for it first, even though I gave her no choice, she gets to sit back and relax while the rest of us, including Gina, will do some hard work for her right now. Okay. What I want you to do is let's make a deal. I'm going to bang out some subject lines over here. I'm not going to look at your comments. You don't look at mine. You know what the email's about now. Let's give our friend Lisa a German ton of subject lines. Are you ready? Are you up for this challenge? Emily, do you feel me on this? Subject line? Okay, here we go. I'm gonna get started over here. No cheating. You guys get started too. Let's hang out some subject lines for I wish I spoke German. I don't even know what that means. Oh, it means goodbye. That's not what I meant to say. um, I don't like that. But that's okay. That's what I do. Even though I don't like it, I just keep moving on. Um, All right, I'm gonna pause. Okay, let's go see what y'all did. Oh, good work, team. I have never been more proud ever. This is fantastic. Let's look at this. All right. Delight yourself in most sought after German main dishes. German entrees for warm weather. Yes. I like the yes at the end of that one. It feels like empowering. The most surprising way to serve meat potato. Surprising. Top 10. Top 10 often works well. So the listicle idea. Glorious. Catherine, they are glorious. A little Shinkunilin is glorious for summer. This is more straightforward. German recipes to cook this summer. This recipe will make you run to the kitchen. Okay. I'm sorry. That's funnier than it probably was meant to be. That's really funny. Um, I don't know if that's funny to a German speaker, Lisa, but sorry, that struck me as funny. The most popular German main dishes for summer. Good. That's straight at it. Bring Germany to your table. Oh, interesting, Emily. Interesting. Gina, just you and her, you were hive minding right there at the same time. Good. My German family's favorite. Oh, bring in the family. Yeah, Gina says it brings in the authority. I like that too. From my German table to yours. That's pretty good too. Glorious German entrees. Savory summer, scrumptious summer. Eat like the Germans. Summer's delicious German made dishes. Good. Nicely done, folks.
Yeah, these are
Uh,
all great.
yeah, you're welcome, Lisa. Just bank
Thank you so
those.
much.
Yeah. I had a slightly different take on it, but summer's here. Revealed, say hello to my easy German dinners. My favorite German dinners or something easier than you think. What grandma taught me. Anyway, I think you got some good opportunities there. Even if you don't use these for this quick start guide, you might hang on to some of these and pepper these throughout your writings going forward.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Lisa, any questions before we move on?
Not specifically about the quick start guide, but what happens after they sign up? Because this is very focused on the German cuisine. So do you recommend that going forward, I keep them separate from the more general like email list because they're only really focused on German food?
I think
Or
that's a
would I
great
still
question.
send them our new recipes this week with a Greek and a Spanish recipe that they might not really be interested in?
Do you have a ton of German recipes?
Um, maybe like 150, 100 maybe?
Wow. Okay, so that's quite a few. So you have some choices here. So if we jump over here to where we're going, they're coming in through this quick start guide. You can drop them into your general list now and just say, all right, they're going to start getting everything just like I serve everybody, which is the default position for most folks. You could also create, oops, let's say that you wanted to go another 5 weeks of German recipes. You could create a sequence where one email, we'll talk more about the Forever series tomorrow, but that's the idea, is that you could send them because you know they're into German food and you have a lot more German food, because you know they have an air fryer, you have a lot more air fryer recipes, because they're into crafting quilts and you have a lot more summer quilts. You could have a little mini series that makes sure that they get the best of before they start getting your general stuff. So the way that this could work is let's say that this was a 5-part series, one email per week for 5 weeks. Then when it's done, then they could get added to the Forever series. But I'll go over into that in a little bit more detail next time.
Okay, thank you so much.
You have
That's
choices.
really helpful.
You have a lot of choices there. And I like those choices. Okay, good. Thank you, Lisa, for playing our game today. Who's cooking
Yeah, thank you.
slowly? Oh, somebody's writing quickly. All right. Catherine, should we go through this, or do you want me to just leave you alone so you can just work? You can unmute.
Sorry, I was doing my homework.
I see that.
I didn't even think to do the subject lines. I don't know why.
Okay. No worries.
And then I was intrigued doing her subject line. So I was like, oh gosh, I gotta work on mine. Okay, so I decided to go with the easy crockpot potato soup recipe because that is one of my top recipes on Google.
Okay.
And it also has one of the highest RPMs. The other ones are Dorito casserole and grape jelly meatballs. So those are kind of like one-offs. Because I have a lot of crock pot recipes that are really popular on Google and Pinterest, I thought that I'd go with that. So I just kind of went down and chose my most popular ones too to add into the sequence. And I thought that I would send the potato soup immediately. Yeah.
Okay. So they're signing up for what? What are they signing up for exactly?
Well, done. I'll get it. I can find it. I've got a million windows open. I have got a ConvertKit form where they are signing up for this recipe because I know that you said that this recipe is super popular right
Yeah.
now. And so the form that I had kind of thought that I would show them on pop-up is, why can't I find it? I hate that it's really hard to save stuff in ConvertKit before they just like delete it if you move away from it. Yeah, it appears to be gone. I am having them sign up for this recipe and free.
So if they're
Must try slow cooker favorites.
okay. So the thing that they're signing up for is this quick start guide of must try slow cooker favorites. This, it
Well,
sounds like you're talking about putting a separate form on this that is save this recipe. Yes?
so yeah, that pop-up is not doing well.
Let me show an
So on the
example.
form, what's that?
So just to be clear, this right here, want
Yeah,
to save this recipe? Amy has this on every recipe post.
okay.
So this is a separate thing. This is a separate opt-in. And so what she does is very similar to what you have here. Here's the whatever that I promised to send over. It changes this. It's dynamic, and it changes it from the crock pot potato soup to the crock pot vegetable stew, or whatever it is that they were signing in for. Okay.
Yeah, so I actually was going to just put it on the crock pot potato soup.
I want you to hear me now and thank me later.
Okay.
Whatever investment you have to make to either have Grayson or NerdPress or Dwayne and Bill at Cultivate or Lauren at Once Coupled or whoever or whoever you need to get to do that. And there are plenty. I'm not spending a lot of time on this, by the way. This is not for you. This is for everybody. I'm not spending a lot of time on this in this course because there's plenty of ways. There's plenty of tutorials about this. But if you are in food in particular, this is the best performer. Yes, Slickstream is making it live as well. It's a little limited right now.
Okay. Yeah, because I have email out to Raptive to check where they're at with that.
Okay, so now what I want you to do is I want you to think about this. Once that's on every post, that changes this.
Yeah.
And then what we're getting at is we're just starting here, sent on day one. If somebody
Yeah.
signs up for, as you saw, Amy, she also had a pop-up for a summer something, or I don't remember what it was, right?
Mhm.
So that's what I'm seeing for you, is that you probably have this
Okay.
opt-in is your pop-up, or it's on forms on the front page and things like that.
Sure. And that would probably be on, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So now they're coming in on this.
Mhm.
Must try slow cooker favorites. Why did you choose slow cooker?
Because when I look at my most popular recipes, it's crock pot cheddar beef tacos, it's slow cooker French dip sandwiches, it's the chicken Alfredo or lazy cooker lasagna, it's slow cooker chicken Alfredo
Yeah. Okay. So
are most of my top
it
recipes.
sounds like it's a perfect match. And by the way, slow cooker is one of those things where if you want to cook with the device, you have to have a special recipe. You can't just take any old recipe and assume it's going to work perfectly, right? So
And two, I mean, I was planning on putting that on categories that are slow cooker because
good.
I kind of with yes, SEO matters, but I kind of was going off of like, oh, if I'm making this, then I should put it on my blog.
Yeah.
And so I have a lot of different categories. I have a lot of different breakfasts. I have a lot of different crock pots. I have some instant pot. Well, crock pot people aren't going to want instant pot because what, 5% of them have one.
Right.
So that's a problem that I've always had with email. And so that's why I've avoided it for so long, is because
Right.
I know this is a huge project.
So creating
Because there are
segments
so
makes a
many
ton of
different
sense.
categories.
Yeah. So you create those segments, and then you can do what we were talking about a
Yeah.
little bit with Lisa, or if you have choices of, do I now funnel them into emails that are about Instant Pot or Crockpot, or do I send everybody everything? And we'll talk about some of those, trade-offs tomorrow a little bit. But
Okay.
I like where you're going here. So let's get into it. Welcome to day one of Must Try Slow Cooker. Oops, wrong button. Let's switch to here. Must try. Oh my goodness, you must try. This needs an exclamation point. Boom. All right. A big stumbling block for many people new to meal planning. Wait, where'd meal planning come in?
I don't know.
That will please their families, are not a waste of time and money. It'd be frustrating to throw away an entire dinner I spent time and money because no one liked it. Okay, that feels like those are two different things, important things, but I kind of went meal planning. I'm just making some sandwiches, right?
Okay.
So you need to decide if that's core to, what problem are you solving?
Well, I
That's
imagine if someone's looking for a recipe, they're planning dinners, right?
sure. Yeah. Yep. It's so frustrating not throw away entire. The solution is making dinners that have been proven, loved by people just like you. These are real popular. I know your family's gonna love these. Awesome. Okay. Do you have other sandwiches
Yeah, I have some like ranch and chicken sandwiches,
in the slow cooker?
pork. Yeah.
What if you did my most popular slow cooker sandwiches?
Yeah, I
And
left the
then
solution in there.
say what?
I left the solution in there as like, well, this is what it is.
And then you could have more of either the roundup style, as I showed you yesterday, or
Mhm.
bullet points. And then it's that just gives them some variety. Maybe they don't like the au jus, but they like the ranchy, whatever you've got, right? So that gives you some options here. And
Okay.
it's solving my kind of rule of thumb is solve one problem per email. And that's the same problem. It's just a different way of solving it. And you're based off of different tastes. And that happens a lot with food.
Yeah, and I hesitate to put too many posts in there because I want them to click on one, and if there's 5 and then they don't click on any.
That's not been my experience, at least with food, because usually, what happens is the first 2 or 3 get clicked, and then it goes, it's just as people scroll.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's just, for example, if we were doing cookies, and you had, my favorite cookie, a type of cookie is a chocolate chip cookie. Your favorite type of cookie is an oatmeal raisin cookie. And Emily's favorite cookie is a butterscotch snickerdoodle. Well, I would be right and you two would be wrong, especially you with that oatmeal thing, raisin thing. But who's putting raisins in cookies? But anyway, some people love it. But the problem is cookies, right? Which cookie to make? And so that's, that's why I like to do more of a roundup side. And that's not to say what you're saying here is like in this case with the slow cooker French dip, they're so popular. These went viral. This has been rated a 5.5 out of 5. It's been pinned over 6 billion times. Whatever. If you have, by the way, for all y'all, if you have social proof, if you have stats of any kind, use them. Use them.
As an image or words?
Just words.
Okay.
It's like literally, if I said here are so popular. In fact, they've been pinned over 73,000 times. Now, a lot of people don't have any context of whether 73,000 is a lot or not. It just sounds like a lot. And you're boom. Now I've got this little humble brag that just made that just a little bit tighter. So that's a tip for everybody. You have the stats. That's why you're on Raptive. You have traffic. So if you can quantify it, use it. That's my suggestion there.
Okay.
All right.
So then add in 2 more sandwiches, maybe 2 more crock pot
Yeah,
sandwiches.
And it doesn't always have to be the same. You could have one in the series that's just 1. You could have one in the series that's 5. You have one in the series
Okay.
that's 10. There's not necessarily a hard and fast rule here.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions on this before I move on?
I don't think so. Thank you.
Yeah, you're on slow cooker, in my experience, has been, for people who have slow cooker content, has been usually a very good performer. So I think you're on the right track here. All right, who have I got here?
That's me, Emily.
Hello, you, Emily.
Hi.
All right, what am I going to tell you before I even get in here?
In reference to the messaging to the sender.
Just anything. As we've been talking, maybe nothing. Maybe nothing is. Maybe it's perfect. It looks pretty good from here. So let's just get into it. All right. Hi, Matt. Welcome to day 1 of 5 secrets every home baker needs to know. Okay. Why did you choose this?
So I chose that as the draw because my website is primarily pastry and baking focused.
Oh, okay.
My niche is more so since I have a pastry background, I'm taking baking recipes and trying to showcase how people can elevate them in their homes as home bakers that are looking to just add a little bit of something extra or even learn more about how to implement pastry techniques into their home baking.
I love this, Emily. I also have a pastry background.
Oh,
I've eaten a lot of croissant in my time, so I think that qualifies me.
It does.
I love that commercial, that progressive commercial where the girl comes back from. We even help people who just recently came back from Europe, and she's like, "It's pronounced croissant."
Oh.
Anyway, for my people overseas, you don't even know what I'm talking about. So I think this is going to work great. Here's a couple of things to think about.
Mm-hmm.
I like what I see, and I'm going kind of quick. I see that you have recipes in here. Most of the time, people like getting the secrets, but they really want the recipes. They want to be inspired to know. It's a little bit of yeah. Okay, great. So we want to teach, we want to educate, but we also want to get them to making the next recipe. So my challenge to you would be, without going through all of this, if you and I were working together, we would dig into this a little bit deeper, is which pieces are essential in here and which gives the general idea, and doggone it, let's get them to the recipe.
Okay. Simplify a little bit.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, you're finding it a little too wordy.
Not necessarily. I just haven't even gone through it. But if I haven't gone through all of it. I know there's a lot of words in here, but it may be super valuable. I'm just giving my general guidance
Yeah.
that if our objective is to, because what you're also doing is you're also setting yourself apart by teaching here a little bit, which I like that.
Okay.
Is something like this is a nice evergreen guide to have in your back pocket. I would still be experimenting with this against summer baking projects,
Okay.
because it could be that they're like, I don't need to know. I'm not a home baker. They don't even, maybe they don't even use those words to describe themselves. What secrets are you talking about? I think that would get a good number of people in. I would want to test it against 5 days of pastries from a professional baker or something. That's not right, but something along those lines. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. Yeah, maybe have two sequences going, have this one for more of an educational aspect, and then a secondary one for just sending very specified links into their inbox.
And you can
once
still
they're
lean
done.
into your professional background, right? That
Okay.
sets you apart. And by the way, I'm not saying this to confuse, and I'm not saying this to slow you down. I'm saying this just to think in the future. But for this, go ahead, finish this up, get this out,
Okay.
and then think. Have in the back of your mind: does education versus inspiration? Are they when they Google a recipe? Do they really care? I mean, it's
Yeah.
harsh. I know it's harsh, but if they're Googling banana bread, do they really care that you have a, or do they even really want to elevate their baking game, because they may have just had this moment where they had to bake bread because they have this, I don't know, this potluck they're going to, or they're hosting some friends, or they just want to do something nice for Father's Day.
No, I love that. It's really narrowing the scope of who I could potentially pull in.
You
Yeah.
just need to test it. That's all I'm saying. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Good work. Who have I got here? This looks like Gina. Welcome to Stress-Free Summer Barbecue. So you went with it.
I did. Thank you.
All right.
I
Without
learned
spending,
from the master.
well, I don't know about, it's just what occurs to me in that moment, you know. What do you, great barbecue. I feel like you could say this in one paragraph. That's just me. With a house full of family coming over, busy day to learn some secrets. Great. Time-saving recipes. This doesn't even, I don't even know if you need this. This could be just like, this is just, no, I don't mean to do that. That was rude. What if we did this instead?
It's okay.
I might even do start with these favorites. Something like that. I don't know. I think usually, because what they're going to do anyway, they're just going to skim. They're going to go, okay, barbecue recipes. Okay, but bam. All right, which ones are you doing? Ribs, pork, got it. This is where you bring in, this one has a, you know, a 5 out of 5 star rating. This one has 75 different
Oh.
reviews. This one has,
Put that on there.
you know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I
I want to
forgot.
get in there. By the way, nobody's asked me this question yet. Usually I get asked, how do you end these things? Well, at the very end, simply put, I don't know what Gina has. Let's see what she's got. Oh, it even says right here. What you might say here is, hope you enjoyed, insert title here, this series, insert title here. From time to time, I'll be back in your inbox with more great recipes to make your life wonderful or more delicious, or whatever, something like that. It's very vague. You don't
Oh.
have to specify, I'm going to be here every third Thursday with this or that or the other thing. Just say, I'm going to be back with more. You're now on my list.
And I
is what
end
that
with
applies.
pineapple coleslaw.
With more
As you noticed,
pineapple coleslaw.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, you have pineapple coleslaw.
Yes, I do. I thought you peeked.
I did not.
But
Oh my
I call
gosh.
it tropical. I don't call it pineapple. I call it tropical under here.
I like that much better. That's too funny. I was not bashing on you, Gina.
I thought you peeked and saw mine and was being
um,
ornery.
No, yeah, it's something I would do for sure, but I hadn't. That's too funny. Well, and the difference there is that if you're doing a cookout, having the perfect salad that stays crisp for hours, I'd never considered pineapple coleslaw for that. So that's why we reframe these things. Anyway, good work. What questions do you have specifically, Gina? I think you're on a great path here.
On day 6, I don't know, maybe we'll cover this. I added to day 6 and I was thinking about, and maybe it's too soon, or should I ask them, this is my thing, you can customize your preferences here. I have 2 days I don't send anything, but those are the days that I resend the highest open that didn't get open,
Okay.
like from the week previously.
Okay. I don't know
Is
if I would
that too
send
much?
I don't know if I would send. Well, what you're really getting at is introducing yourself on the website, right? And that's fun.
Yeah.
I think that's okay to do. My suggestion on that, if you're going to do that, by the way, for all y'all, is because now we're on day 6. They've gone through this process of they don't know who you are. Now they should know who you are a little bit. And if they've stuck around, they're probably more likely to invest in. So probably what I would do is something like 8 fun. I actually do this with my clients. 8 fun facts about me. Something that is engaging and fun. And then here are
Oh, I
my
have that on
personal
my about
favorite
page.
recipes. Sorry?
Okay. I have that on my about page, fun facts you might know,
Yeah,
crazy
so make
things.
it
So I'll just
make it
copy that
fun,
and
make
put
it
it in.
engaging, and then give them recipes or give them resources if you are not in food. Because they're still not here for you.
Okay.
But your personal recommendations is actually a form of social proof as well. My favorites, etc. So I start off by introducing myself. Is that wrong? There's nothing wrong here. I just want to be clear on that. This is just a personal preference thing. If somebody's coming in, if Martha doesn't know who you are, and she Googles something particular, and she's interested in your hook, must try slow cooker recipes or whatever. She doesn't care about Kate in that moment. Sorry, Kate. What she cares about is more slow cooker recipes. And so now Kate can still get in there and say, hey, I've been making slow cooker recipes for the last 300 years. All right. That's how I know what I know. And that's why I'm diving in with this solution to your first problem, which is don't overthink it. Here's my most popular sandwiches. Right. So that's how I look at that. If you send a whole email that explains who you are and introduces yourself, that can work. Just know, put yourself in the shoes of that person on the other end. It may not work, I guess is what I'm getting at. I think it works better where Gina is sticking it here. After you've proven, look, let me serve you, let me serve you, let me serve you. And now let me tell you a little bit about myself. We don't care about the name of Taylor Swift's Cats until we've heard the song Blank Space on the radio a few times. Okay. So that's
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I do have one more question. At the bottom, throughout there, I keep saying special surprise bonus. And then on the last day, I give them a pre-printable that is water bottle covers and straws and a grocery list that all matches the barbecue. But what my focus is sending them to my Shopify store, and they're getting it free, but they're still going to my Shopify store to get it free. Is that okay?
Sure.
Or
Yeah.
should I just give it to them?
I kind of like it. I don't think that there's a rule on that. I kind of like that. It kind of illustrates that you sell other things without
Okay. I
selling
just want to
them.
make sure it went
You know what I
too
mean? So I'm not
gimmicky.
if they want the free thing, they can go through the steps of downloading it through Shopify and you get the stats and all that too. So, right.
Okay.
That's how I feel about it.
Okay.
All right. Good work. What's the best placement for save this recipe? Some people do it below the first hero image, some do it above the recipe card. It varies, but my experience has been that after the first image tends to work best. The second best placement is inside the recipe card. People like Dwayne and Bill will set that up, and Grayson will too, I think, inside the recipe card. Above the recipe card is the place that people skip the most. They either read the first part of the recipe and then they jump to the recipe, or if they're reading all of it, they've already seen it up top. So Cultivate is Dwayne and Bill. Sorry, Cultivate WP. All right, maximize summer produce. Who's this?
It's me.
Hello, Megan.
Hello.
Megan, I have a challenge for you. I want you to say anything but maximize summer produce. What are you trying to convey with that?
Well, my blog focuses on seasonal cooking a lot, and so I get a lot of traffic in the summer, and I get a lot of traffic on pickled things, jams, freezing stuff, dried stuff. So I'm trying to like extending the season kind of things.
Gotcha. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. But I don't actually know what that means. So if I don't know what it means, then it doesn't pull me in. That's where I'm being a little bit of a jerk on that. I promised I wasn't going to be, but it turns out apparently I am. It's just who I am. Come on, folks. Lisa, you've been sitting around just basking in all that free work everybody else did for you. Let's give Megan some free work. All right, everybody. Megan, you just relax. You just sit there and maximize the summer produce for a second. We're going to come up with some new ways to say this. All right? Here we go. By the way, I know we're approaching the top of the hour. I will do everybody's that has sent me one, and if you want to stick around, I'm happy to do it. But your homework assignment is finish this up. Let's go. Whatever you got, it's good enough. Launch it. Go fast, break stuff. It's probably better than what you have. All right. 5 days, 5 ways to what else do we have in here? Terrible. What am I doing? I hope you all did better than I did. Here I was criticizing Megan, and I'm not coming up with anything better myself. So let's see what you got. Recipes to make summer last all year. How to make summer fruits and veggies last year round. Okay, that feels like getting close to it. Making the most of summer's bounty. Yeah. Too much summer produce? Yes, you can. Savor summer's fresh produce. Enjoy your produce all year round. That year round keeps coming back. 5 days, 5 ways to preserve. Oh, that's not bad. Let the summer sunshine through your kitchen with the freshest produce. 5 ways to preserve the peak of summer produce. Farmers market secrets. Oh, interesting. Tanya. Secrets to savoring all your summer produce. Do your summer produce a favor. Keep it friendly, fresh. I don't know. I think those are all pretty good. What we're trying to do is just trying to make it just a little bit more on the nose, with the hook. That's all I'm getting at here, Megan. So workshop that a little bit. You want it to feel jazzy. You want to be excited to do it. And your audience may already be excited to do it. So I may be totally off on that. So take it for what it's worth. 5 days of one thing I tend to do is overbuy at the farmer's market. Truly help it. It's inspired. Fortunately, a surefire way to make nothing goes to waste. Good. Secret number 1: the freezer is your friend. I like that. Freezing is the best ways to Love it. No objections, Your Honor. This is great. get dried out. You probably added a basil plant to your garden or let the mint escape. It happens. There's only so much you can make. Dry your herbs. Okay, another thought that I have here, Megan, is this goes for everybody. And I don't have the answer to this. You may already be doing it this way, but start with your broadest, most broad appeal topics first, and then narrow it down. The reason I bring that up is that maybe the herb people are fewer than the jam people or the pickle people. Put that at the end if that's the case. So just think about the order of things. All right, any specific questions, Megan, other than like, why'd you pick on me so hard today?
No, I mean, I kind of wanted you to pick on me, so that's good.
Okay.
I guess my main question is like right now, my top posts are literally like pickled cauliflower, how to dry basil, and then one of my jam recipes. And so I'm wondering when I push it out, if I should push it out to my preserving category, if I should just push it out to the whole site because it is a seasonal site.
Do you have something that's better?
No, not right now.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
Push it out to everybody and then challenge yourself to outproduce it.
Okay.
The other, and the thing that you said there is that you have jam, pickle, freezer. These people have, this is a type of person who wants to do this, right?
Mhm.
So I think that we're getting closer to that with some of the stuff that people gave us here. And so I think it's okay to use those words somehow in there. You're going to want to bring in what they think they're there for.
Okay.
All right, good stuff. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, who's left? What's for
That's
dinner?
me. That's me. But you know what? I didn't do the complete homework. I thought we just had to do like the problem. So I just did the problem, not the emails.
That's a good start. That's a good start. You're ready to finish it up. I feel it.
Yeah.
Mom, what's for dinner? I got you covered. In today's email, I'm showing 5 soups. There's something for every day of the week. Okay, so if you and I were working together, we would just come up with what are the subjects for each of the 5. What are the recipes going to be in each one of them?
Yeah.
And then
What I thought about I mean, is like for example, day 1, here's the pasta. And instead of putting 3 more pasta recipes, just put like side dishes. Like this is a great salad that goes with this and
oh, sure.
and dessert and something like that. Like kind of menus.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
Okay.
5 days
Okay.
of menus. Yeah, ready
Okay.
ready to make menus or something, That's kind
Okay.
of fun.
Okay. So I'll continue with that idea then.
Yeah, cool. All right. And then this last one. Oh, another canning and preserving. Who is this? Oh, Lana.
Yes, that's me.
All right. How much you want to get into this, Lana?
Whatever you want to do.
Well, I want your happiness, ultimately. That's what I care about. So is there something in particular so let's look at here. Hi, Matt. Thanks for signing up for my series on canning and preserving. So it's very specific about what it is. Over the next few days, I'll share some of my favorite recipes on preserving the bounty of fresh produce available. Let's kick things off with a classic, pickled okra. Okay, why did you choose pickled okra?
Because it's the #1 traffic driver in that category.
Okay, so this brings up an interesting question for me. And let's just spitball on this for a second. So if that was not the case, would you still roll with pickled okra here as your #1 thing?
If it was not the highest traffic driver,
Yeah.
no, I'd choose whatever was the highest traffic driver.
Let's say that you have 0 traffic. All you want to do is educate somebody on canning and preserving. What would you start with?
Well, I'd start with strawberry jam because that's a beginner type of canning recipe.
Okay. My suggestion is build it that way. The reason for that is that you're taking advantage of the traffic simply by them coming to the website through pickled okra. But
Right.
It just so happens, whatever Lord Google blessed you with right now, he's blessing you with pickled okra traffic. That doesn't mean that those people don't want to get better at strawberry jam. It just means that they didn't happen to run into that when we're thinking about it. Google didn't reward you in the same way. But that also does not mean that your strawberry jam is not awesome, because it is. I know this for a fact in my heart of hearts. So teach that way.
Okay.
And lead them down the path you would if you wanted them to have the best possible experience. Again, okra, the reason I thought of it is because okra is very not limited, but it's a much narrower, not everybody grows okra, but everybody, you know.
Right. Everybody has access to strawberries.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got it.
Okay. That is the other thought I have here too is, can you do a few roundups? If you're doing strawberry jam, do you also have peach jam or something?
No, I do not. Mm-mm.
Do you have other strawberry canning things?
Nope. That's the only one.
And that's the only jam?
That's the only jam. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, then good enough. You see where I was going with that though,
See.
that if you had other strawberry things to can,
Yeah,
or
I
that
get
you
it.
might do, you know, if you're going to do strawberry fruit leather or something, you could say, you feature strawberry jam, and then you might also say, also, if you love strawberry, try this and this and this.
Mhm. My reasoning here is that I have, okay, I write in Southern Comfort Food niche, and I have 4 recipes that are my top traffic drivers every day of the week, every year for 6 or 7 years. Those recipes are there, except from June to August, 2 of those top spots, I mean, those 4 recipes moved down, and 2 of those top spots are taken by pickled okra and kosher dill pickles. So my thought was that I would create this sequence to display on the canning and preserving category recipes that are so heavy during those months. Okay. But still, I mean, I get your suggestion about using it more as a teaching tool. So I'll rethink my.
Okay. Yeah, I like the way you're thinking about it, because that traffic is coming in on those things.
Mm-hmm.
And it's probably, by the way, it's probably a good idea to have the pickled okra in here somewhere, because that might have been why they came in to begin with, because it's such a high traffic driver. But
that particular recipe takes over my #1 spot site-wide for a couple of months every summer.
I might have an email that's about strawberry jam. I might have something about tomatoes that has canned tomatoes, stewed tomatoes, you know, whatever other kind of chili or salsa, you know, whatever else you've got in the canning. And then I might have on pickles, you've got several pickles. I might have here my favorite pickles. And then you could have another one that's like bonus, other things to pickle. Did you know you could pickle okra and asparagus and green beans? That might be a fun way to get that in there.
All right.
Cool. All right. Did I miss anybody? Thanks for bearing with me. We went long today. Sorry about that. But I think there's good stuff in here. Hopefully that helps you get going. If you're stuck at all, go ahead, unmute. Let's talk. If not, get out of here. Go write some emails. Let's launch some things. Make it happen. I expect you to have -5 subscribers tomorrow because of these results. So go break a leg. All right. Thanks, everybody. Thank you, Ollie. If you have any, if anybody's stuck, let me know. All right. We're going to get out of here. We'll see you. Take care.